We're here today with head women's basketball coach Cara Consuegra. Cara, you're announcing the schedule for 2018-19. Just your first thoughts at looking at the opponents on this year's schedule.
I'm happy with the way that the schedule came together. I mean, we always want to have a schedule that challenges our student athletes and our team early. And I think we did that by having several Power 5 schools. And at the same time this year, we really wanted to accomplish being able to play more regional teams, just to create some regional rivalries, to help our fan base really get excited about some of those games. So I think we have a great balance of kind of accomplishing those two goals.
Well, let's get into the schedule a little bit. One of the first things that folks will notice, there's an earlier start to the season this year. What does that do for the mindset at this point in the year, starting preparation for November?
I think it's great. I was happy that the NCAA made that decision to move the season up a little bit. Because I think, basketball at this point in time is basically a year-round sport, and so it allows us to start practice a little bit earlier, gives us more time to be able to put some stuff in, and then, gets us on the court earlier, and then it helps not have to cram in so many games, especially around finals times for our student athletes.
You mentioned this a little bit already, but Power 5 conference schools, staple of what you've been able to do over the years, playing 3 of them this year, 2 of them at home, Rutgers, Wake Forest come here, go to Virginia. Playing those types of opponents, what does that do for the program?
It's important for us. I mean, we always tell recruits when we are recruiting them to come to Charlotte that they're going to have an opportunity to play really good competition. And so that's part of who we are here if you look at our schedule throughout every year I've been here. And excited about the opportunity to have Rutgers at home again this year. Obviously, Wake Forest returning to us, and then playing a tough game at Virginia. But all those things will prepare us for what we'll see in conference play.
In addition to that, there's some other traditional strong teams on the schedule. UNC Asheville, who you open up with, Fordham, who you played since A10 days, but they're normally at the top of that conference, and Mercer, who came in here last year, playing those type of teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about Power 5 schools. I mean, we want to, have a balanced schedule that will challenge us. And, Asheville's been to the NCAA tournament. Mercer's been to the NCAA tournament. Fordham's competed every year in the A10 for a championship. And so, we want to play those types of teams that have been where we want to go, and to give ourselves an opportunity to compete with them, and hopefully have an opportunity to beat them. I mean, that's part about that's what we're doing here.
Another staple of your program through the years is playing these in-season tournaments. This year, it's a Thanksgiving tournament going up to Lehigh, playing Liberty in the first game, and then either Lehigh and Niagara after that. What are you looking forward to that week leading up to a tournament where you've never been in Eastern Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for us. I mean, obviously, to bond as a team over Thanksgiving break. We always look for an opportunity to travel out of town. We haven't spent much time in that area, so we'll spend some time in Philadelphia while we're there. We've been able to recruit a little bit in the state of Pennsylvania, so I think that will help us in terms of some of our recruiting. And then obviously put ourselves in a position to play some very good teams in a tournament-style play. It's be a traditional tournament rather than a lot of times nowadays you play in tournaments, but they set the opponent. So I like playing in a more of a traditional tournament style, so that we have to turn around quickly and prepare for an opponent that we don't know who will play.
One change this year is a lot of first-time opponents. Normally there's 1 or 2 on the schedule, but this year there's potentially up to 6 first-time opponents that have never been played since you've been here. But 5 of those, the program in its history has never played. So how do you prepare the program without having any past game tape on them from a game that you played, getting ready for those games?
Yeah, well, I think it's good for us. It keeps us off balance. Makes the scout a little bit tougher when you don't know those opponents or know those coaches. And there's always past game film that you can pull out and be able to get familiar, obviously, with those teams in some ways. But I think it's a great challenge for us.
All right. Talk about off balance with that, but let's go back to a little bit of a balance act. Home games, there's 8. There's 5 on the road, including a potential neutral site game. Last year it was the reverse: 5 at home, 8 on the road. Getting back into Halton Arena more often during the non-conference season, how important was that to you for this team this season?
Yeah, it was really important for us. I mean, part of the reason why we're kind of releasing the schedule a little bit later is we tried to hold out and get as many home games as we can, which obviously everybody's trying to do, but we want to be home as much as we can, and it's always a challenge and a balancing act to be able to do that. But we're really fortunate with the way that it worked out this year, so that we can be home and build some confidence on our with our team being at home and being in a friendly arena, obviously, giving Niner Nation a chance to come out and see this team early.
Let's shift gears to conference play. Conference USA, always a strong league. This year it's set up as a 16-game schedule. You play everybody once, and then 3 teams you play twice. Thought process when you've been sitting in those coaches' meetings, what it's been like putting the schedule formula together for this.
Yeah, I like the direction the Conference USA is moving. Obviously, I think a lot of our fans are familiar with the men's model and that they're playing everybody, and then we'll kind of put those teams in pods at the end of the season. And this is kind of our schedule is kind of a play off of that. I think they want to kind of see how the men's model goes, and might be something that we'll do moving forward. But I like that there's some strategy in it in terms of our last games and putting us in a position to hopefully protect some of our top teams and be able to seed them well for the tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament.
Let's talk about those last couple games. Once you get through playing everybody, you'll play those teams twice. What was the formula that the conference developed and put out there for this year?
I think, to play in those last games, they wanted to take in consideration both strength of your team, RPI, but also geographical constraints. I mean, obviously, I think in the last game of the season in Charlotte, you don't want to be going to UTEP, and UTEP doesn't want to be coming to Charlotte. I mean, certainly that puts both teams at a disadvantage. And so I think, again, the league tried to kind of balance that and finding the most competitive games they could while also balancing the geographical challenges of our league. And, from what I've seen, I thought they did a good job of that.
All right, one last thing with the conference. Starting in mid-February, you only play 1 game a week. Leading down the stretch of the season, how is important? Well, not necessarily important, but how is it going into those games? You're just playing that 1 game and getting some extra rest leading into the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a positive. I mean, certainly it's different. It'll feel different, but obviously when you get into February, fatigue is always a factor for every team, and I think having that extra time to prepare and rest, and you would think that would be a positive for all of our teams for the general play in Conference USA, and then I think what it could also do is really pay off for whichever team wins our championship and goes into the NCAA tournament. I mean, they have an opportunity to possibly be more fresh than some other teams that they would face. So I certainly look at it as a positive.
All right. Sounds like another great schedule, Cara. Any final thoughts?
I just want to encourage Niner Nation to come out and check this team out early. We're coming off a fantastic trip where we took the team to Spain and played a lot of great basketball. And I think this team is going to be really fun to watch. So come on out and support us. We look forward to seeing you in Halton Arena.
All right. Thanks for your time today, Cara, and we'll catch up with you soon.
That's good.